Spacesuits. Yeah, what comes into your mind when you think of the word spacesuit? Is it those old, bulky white and orange, stuffy suits used before? Or something cool like the Star Troopers? Who wouldn't love those sharp, fit, and modern suits, right? Well, SpaceX has come up with one. It's a stretch, however, to call these spacesuits. SpaceX's new species of spaceship requires a next-generation spacesuit. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Tech Tribe, where we bring you the newest and best updates in the tech world. For daily videos, please consider subscribing to our channel. So let's get into today's stash and see what makes the SpaceX suit special. Even though it's been a year since SpaceX came up with their next-generation suits, and the veteran American astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Henkin blasted off from Florida on a test flight to the International Space Station, apart from making history from traveling in their private sector, SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule carried by the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, both of them were not wearing the orange pumpkin spacesuits that astronauts used to wear during the launch phase of shuttle flights managed by NASA. Instead, they made their journey in the latest SpaceX suits. The SpaceX spacesuits are a cool, one-piece white design and much sleeker than the formerly used bulky Space Shuttle launch suits, which were also known as the Advanced Crew Escape Suit, ACES. So slim that the modern spacesuit designs that in 2018, the SpaceX CEO Elon Musk had to comfort concerned Instagram followers after the suits revealed that it clearly works and one can jump into a vacuum chamber with it on and it's just fine. And the astronauts who flew on the first crewed test flight of SpaceX's Crew Dragon also had commented on disparities with the SpaceX suit, contradicting other spacesuits which astronauts have used in the past several years. Of course, it looks like the spacesuit is exactly built as a prop for a movie set. That could be because the suit designer is the legendary Hollywood costume designer Jose Fernandez, who is best known for his costumes in blockbuster movies such as Wonder Woman, Wolverine, Batman vs Superman, and Captain America: Civil War. Astronaut Hurley Doug said that the SpaceX spacesuit is significantly unique than the suit they used to wear on shuttles. The SpaceX suit went through the same pre-flight checks as the pumpkin suit and the Soko suit. Hurley mentioned that it was similar in that they can scan the suits for leaks, test the comm system, and they just make sure that everything is good to go before you walk out to the pad. Subsequently, 2 of these SpaceX spacesuits proved their worth in space before being used by humans. And another interesting part is that one is still flying with the driving dummy on the Tesla Roadster that was launched on a Falcon Heavy rocket in 2018, and another was employed by the dummy Ripley that flew aboard the uncrewed SpaceX Crew Dragon Demo 1 test gateway to the ISS in 2019. Benkin, a veteran of space shuttle flights STS-123 and STS-130, in a pre-flight video interview on NASA's YouTube channel explains that what they did on the SpaceX side is to kind of reach back and kind of pull forward somewhat a retro styling or in a unique way of creating their own unique kind of mission symbol or symbolism instead of copying what was done on the space shuttle side. He also added that the pumpkin-shaped suit was an iconic part of space shuttle launches, and he foresees that the same will occur soon in the SpaceX spacesuit, as both of the suits have succeeded in terms of evolving to be iconic and symbolizing the goal in front of them and the enthusiasm associated with what they were about to accomplish. Benkin on the training side added that the SpaceX suits had one big advantage, where both of them could sit in a capsule and can put on the suits, go through a situation or a scenario where the suits are going to inflate in case of an emergency. Benkin explained that it was important for astronauts to substantiate such a kind of experience in training to prepare for the rigors of space flight. SpaceX has maintained some of the design characteristics of its spacesuits confidential, but it has underscored the suits are meant to be symbiotic with the large computer panels that astronauts will use to monitor Dragon systems and navigate to the International Space Station. Each jacket is tailored specifically for each astronaut according to NASA. SpaceX's spacesuit was formulated to be practical, compact, and to offer safety against potential depressurization. NASA added the protection against depressurization would be identical to that in the ACES suit, which had an emergency breathing process and the ability to fully pressurize if the cabin unexpectedly lost oxygen. The single connection point seen on the suit's thigh connects to the life support systems, including air and power connection. The helmet was custom manufactured using 3D printing technology and also includes integrated valves, mechanisms for visor retraction and locking, and microphones within the helmet structure for two-way communication. But don't count on SpaceX's suit for stuff like spacewalks still. For the foreseeable future, astronauts will proceed to use the shuttle-era Extravehicular Mobility Unit (EMU), which is built to work for 8 to 10 hours or so for microgravity activities in a complete vacuum, while giving protection against radiation. While NASA is working on more advanced spacesuits optimized for the lunar surface for the agency's forthcoming Artemis program that aims to land astronauts on the moon by 2024. If all goes to plan, the agency will test those moon spacesuits aboard ISS in 2023. SpaceX's suits are also distinct from those that astronauts will use for the other commercial crew vehicle, Boeing's Starliner. Tests are currently being held to prepare that vehicle for human flights, and the astronauts flying missions will wear a blue spacesuit with features such as touchscreen sensitive gloves and more advanced materials. Cool, right? So in fact, the SpaceX suits are just designed to protect the crew of a spacecraft from depressurization accidents, so one couldn't use one for spacewalks or for walking around on a planet or moon. For that narrow use case, those are very nice and they look good and function okay. The problem with such a kind of suit, which operates by using elastic tension to apply pressure on the body, is that it's practically difficult to keep the pressure uniform over the person's entire body, which means that you tend to get blood pooling in odd places, particularly in the inside of joints, so armpits and groin regions are likely to swell up in an uncomfortable way. However, if your spacecraft just accidentally depressurized, just think for an instance they are likely to save your life, and a bit of blood pooling would be the least of your concerns. But they really aren't even equivalent to the more general purpose NASA spacesuits, and despite numerous artist impressions that say otherwise, these are not the spacesuits which people will be walking across the surface of the moon or Mars on. But regarding its current specific purpose at SpaceX, it looks cool and that's fine. It's a highly simplified structure with not only integral boots but integral gloves. Only a lot cheaper, less versatile, and probably safer for non-military passengers. As such, it's probably a decent fit, no pun intended, for what's meant to be an inexpensive, more automated spacecraft, and in fairness, we're not sure they won't come in only one size in the future. So are they better? For doing work in space, either inside or outside the spacecraft? Absolutely not. But for keeping well-paying amateurs and passengers safe on a budget? Yeah, maybe. So is it important for spacesuits to look cool or aesthetically pleasing, or should we focus on making them more practical? In fact, SpaceX and Tesla have always been about aesthetics, and here too the suit clearly shows the country's and the firm's distinctive vision apart from being admired by millions. This can be very clearly seen in NASA's pioneering Mercury mission. The suits were first supposed to be military green but later changed to mirror silver. Apart from the color's reflective properties, the color was mainly chosen for its modern and futuristic looks. Of course, it's the 21st century and branding and imaging is important to be held on par with functional properties. What do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. That's about it for today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content just like this one, and while you're at it, turn on post notifications so that you never miss out on any of our future uploads. Drop a like for the video if you're a huge fan of what Tesla and SpaceX are doing in the industry. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll meet again in the next one.